of Jesus on today. We are fastly approaching the new year. It's December 29th, 2018. Looking forward to what 2019 is going to bring. But I just wanted to put this out here for couples that are looking to be married. Just a little history about myself. I am Apostle Michael Davis Jr., the senior pastor of the New Testament Believers Fellowship Church here in Nashville, Tennessee. Small church, but we do big ministry around the city, reaching God's people, the lost, the downtrodden, those who society forgets about. But what I would like you to do before I get off into the subject at hand, I would like you to comment, like us, give us that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell and share this video. So now that we have gotten that established, I ask you the question, why counseling before marriage? Well, just a little about myself. I'm married. I've been married 16 years, going on 17 years to one woman. We have 7 children together. I have, she has been with me through thick and thin, and I'm glad that I married the right rib so I don't have to have spare ribs. So I ain't got no side pieces, no side chicks, no hoes on the side, no baby mamas. I just have my wife. And my greatest advice to those that are seeking to be married, you should always approach marriage as the thought of nothing. Even if you have been married before and have been divorced, and you're going to get with someone new, spend that time to sit down and talk to someone that has a really good marriage, that has been faithful in their marriage and that has a lot of experience in marriage, whether it be your pastor, if your pastor is not a philanderer or a whoremonger, or somebody on the down low. They need to be someone that has a successful marriage and that they love their wife and they love their husband. And of course, as God defines marriage in Scripture, marriage is the relationship, the matrimony between a man and a woman. Not a man and a man, not a woman and a woman, not a man or a woman with an animal. A man and a woman is what God honors and identifies as marriage, true biblical marriage. The reason why you should have counseling, whether you've been, with this person a long time and you feel that you know everything, but you need to sit down with somebody that can help you see yourself and your mate from a different angle, from a different view. Another set of eyes is always good, because the Bible talks about in the multitude of counsel, there's safety. So when me and my wife was about to get married almost 17 years ago, I sat before my old pastor, and it was her pastor at the time, and we had went out to eat with the pastor and the pastor's wife. And at that time, the pastor and the pastor's wife had been married over 30 years. So, and you could tell that they were still very much in love, because they still played with each other and, pinched each other at the table and smiled and gave each other goo-goo eyes and all of that stuff after being married for 30 years and 4 children. Well, 5 children. I forgot the oldest son. And from that, you know, we had to sit down with our pastor and pastor's wife to identify what we're about to get ourselves into. That this is not something that we just take for granted, but this is a life change, a life-changing event to be married, for two separate people to come together as one in matrimony before God, and that this thing that we're going to enter into is a covenant, not only with just each other, but with God. Therefore, we must take it seriously, and we must understand that we need someone to help guide us to get us there, so we won't allow the devil to get in the middle and we mess up. Why have counseling? Because everybody need it. I don't care if you're talking to some kind of a marriage therapist, a family life and marriage relationship counselor. I don't care who it is. You need to talk to someone that can help you, because sometimes in our own perception, we can't see ourselves. We can't identify how selfish or how rude or how indignant we are in our own personality. We can't see our own faults. And we don't know necessarily what we need to really work on to come together as a couple, unless we have another set of eyes looking on it. So when me and my wife were in our counseling, our pastor and wife had us to write down all of our strengths and all of our weaknesses on a sheet of paper, and then had us to write down our goals as to what we wanted to achieve as a couple. But one of the things that couples must do first and foremost, or your marriage is doomed to fail, you need to establish a right relationship with God. You know, I know that there are people that are out there that are married that are not saved. They're not in the church, and there's some people like that that's out there that still have good marriages, but that foundation is not there. But the true foundation to where your covenant is stable is when you have a true and right relationship with God first as an individual. And then you all come together as a couple to have right relationship with God in the marriage. The other thing, why you need counseling, you need that relationship with God. That's the first thing I said. You need to find out what your strengths and weaknesses are between each mate. Whoever has a strong suit in knowing how to budget and deal with the finances of the couple, of the house, should be able to do that. Whoever's the most masterful on that should be able to do it. And those that need work, well, you know, you work on it, but you do it together. And that everything that was separate should come together. I know some people have this thing, I'm not going to get a bank account with him, or I'm not going to get a bank account with her. I'm not going to get on the same credit card account because he like to spend too much money. I know some people like that. And after a while, their marriage failed because they were too selfish among each other, to where when things really fell apart, it was all about themselves, and then their marriage fell apart. And those two people that I know, they divorced. because they really didn't have a true and right relationship with God. Their relationship was based upon looks and what the other person can give to them. That's not a purpose as to why you get married. And this is why you also need counseling. You're not getting married based upon what the other person has. You don't do that, because then you become a digger, or someone that's just lazy. They can't bring nothing to the table. Each person in the marriage must be able to bring something to the table, because love only is not going to pay the bills. You got to be able to have some kind of skill set to bring to the table that will help if one mate is down. Now, I tell y'all something. Me and my wife have been through a whole lot of things in our marriage and in life. We've had some of the worst challenges in life that most couples divorce and just fall all the way apart. We had 4 of our children to pass away from stillborns and miscarriages and all the above. We had to go through those things. Not only did we go through that, we went through loss of job, loss of employment, and to the point where there was only half of the money coming in to be able to take care of the needs of the house. So when I was at my lowest point and I was getting mistreated at my jobs, when I was a chemist, my wife didn't criticize me. My wife didn't put me down. My wife worked her job and kept things together. And she prayed for me. And she kept me encouraged even though I was down and out. And I felt like everything was just closing in on me. She helped keep me afloat. So, that showed me that I had a real woman that was not thinking about what we could only bring to the table, or that she was just living off of me or I'm living off of her. But I had a team player, somebody that loved me for me. And you must understand, yes, you got to love your mate. The Bible says, especially to men, said, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church and gave his life for it. So, men, this is not some irrelevant topic, but you must love your wife as Jesus loved the church. And you need that counseling, because some of us may have not known how to properly love a woman. So therefore, we need to be guided, and we need an older man to teach us that has a good relationship with his wife and knows how to love a woman, to show us how to love a woman. It's not about you just sexing and knocking the bottom out and all of that. I mean, after a while, to some people, the sex gets old, but you gotta have a real genuine love for your mate after all the sex is over. You also need counseling, because I said, if your relationship with God is not right, a whole lot of other stuff in your marriage is not going to go right. You have to make sure that in your relationship with God, that you cut off all other attachments from previous relationships. And, that's a big one, because this is the thing, how the devil gets a foothold, a toehold, or some kind of way into your relationship and causes infidelity, to where, it'd be that one person that make you turn your head when they walk past, and you'd be like boomerang, woof. and you see that fine chick, with the big old booty, your head get to turning. You seen that fine nigga, what the swole muscles and all of that with the six pack, it make you say, ooh, child. You got to make sure you have your soul ties cut away from previous relationships, or you'll find yourself in infidelity and cheating on your husband or your wife. And I know what I'm saying. And I tell you, the devil is always busy, always trying to find out, seeking whom he can devour. When I was just married, in my first 2 weeks of marriage, and me and the wife, we lived in Iowa at that time. Oh Lord, no, I better not park here. When we lived in Iowa, we were in a Walmart, and I was walking in one aisle trying to get some. Trying to get some of the stuff that that my wife needed, and all of that. And I was in the aisle by myself, and she went over to the next aisle to get something too. And I was approached by three young ladies. And I had only been married for 2 weeks. And these young ladies walk up to me. Was like, "You got a girlfriend?" And I said, I'm married. It was like, "So, we want you. You sexy." And I'm just sitting there like, wow, And the good thing about it, before I got married, thank you, Prophet Ronnie Fulbright, for that time when I was really going through in the early 2000s, and God had you to pray me through to receive my deliverance from all the mess that I was going through back in the early 2000s. And from that deliverance, I was able to find my wife after God delivered me from soul ties of other people. So, you got to get rid of the soul ties. If you got the ex-boyfriends hanging along, you got to cut that relationship with them, because that's going to cause your husband to possibly be jealous if he's not confident in himself, of course. And then also it may make your new husband suspicious of you. Also, on the other flip side, the same thing. If you got these female friends that you always hang around with, you got to cut ties with them too, because the moment that your wife may not act right, you fall and end up talking to one of them female friends. They know just how to get you. They know what you like, and they wanting to get their chance to drop it on you like it's hot. So remember, y'all, don't ever negate and say that you don't need counseling, because you do. You need every form of wisdom that you can get for someone to talk to you and to help you while you're about to embark on marriage. Well, I talked about the major things that you need enter into a marriage. Yes, you need counseling, because first, somebody else needs to look at you from the other side through another set of eyes. You need to have a right relationship with God as an individual and as a couples too. People need to be able to bring things to the table. In other words, no one person is doing everything. Also, you must cut off soul ties from old relationships. And lastly, here's the big one you got to keep other people out of your marriage bedroom and out of your business between you and your mate after you are married, because this is like a lot of times, I don't know the exact percentage according to marriage statistics, if there was a survey out there done, that a lot of people marriage ended up breaking up due to uh, involvement of other people in their affairs. So make sure, you know, in you getting counseling, for you that are listening to me and you are the marriage counselor, make sure you tell the people that are getting married to keep their business, their marriage business, to themselves, because it's just between them and God. Well, that's all I got to say on this matter. Uh, just want you to like, subscribe, and share this video. And if the Lord gives me something else on this matter, I'll speak on it again. Bye.